Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Daynator channel. In today's video I'm going to be working on the 2002 GMC Sierra, and I've got an issue with bleeding the brakes. I just can't seem to get any fluid or air to come out of the front brakes on my Sierra. So you know when you're bleeding the brakes and you got somebody pumping the brake for you and they hold the brake pedal down and you take your wrench and open the bleeder screw, so all the air that's in the line should push right out of that bleeder screw, and you'll repeat that process until you have a nice strong steady stream of fluid coming out of that bleeder valve. Well, for me, these front brakes, all I'm getting is kind of a weak, slow stream of fluid and no air is really coming out. Initially I had a little spittle of air, but really it's just a slow stream of fluid, and that's it. And the backstory is I had to repair a brake line, and that brake line was directly connected to the ABS module. The ABS module is located on the driver's side of the truck, behind the driver's side wheel, kind of like underneath the driver's seat or the extended cab. It's just kind of like in the middle of the truck, but it's along the frame rail. You can see this line right here is the line I repaired, and I had to disconnect it from the ABS module. Well, obviously disconnecting it from the module is going to introduce air into that system, and I believe what I've got going on is an air pocket that I just can't seem to get to come out of that ABS module to be able to properly bleed my brakes. Right now I have kind of a soft pedal, and I do have rear brakes. The way that manufacturers design the brake systems these days is that the rear brakes are pretty much independent from the front brakes. So I can stop the truck, but I really don't have a very secure feeling pedal. So I know that I've got an air pocket in that ABS module. So in order to get the ABS module to burp its air pocket out,
did you hear that?
the ABS module needs to activate. It needs to pump those little pistons in there to burp that air bubble out of the ABS module so that we can properly bleed these brakes. So if your vehicle has ABS, chances are you know what the ABS module sounds like or feels like in your brake pedal. If you've ever had to slam on your brakes and maybe your vehicle slips on ice or a slick spot in the road, you can feel that brake pedal start to buzz. It's kind of a pulsating feeling and a brrr sound in your brake pedal. Well, that noise is coming from the ABS module, and basically what it's doing is causing your caliper to squeeze and let go, so that you're still braking, but your wheels don't lock up and you skid. All right, so I got the truck sitting here on my patio. How am I going to activate the ABS module so that I can get that air pocket out of there so that I can bleed my brakes properly so that my brakes will finally work? Well, there are two ways that I'm familiar with to be able to activate the ABS module, and one is potentially costly and the other is free, but there is some risk involved. All right, so the first way that you can activate your ABS module is to spend some money and have your vehicle towed to a shop, and they can get it on their machine and they can electronically activate the ABS module with a sort of a diagnostic tool. So with this method, you're going to be out whatever money it's going to cost you to have your vehicle towed to the shop, and then pay whatever fees the shop's going to charge you to systematically activate your ABS module, bleed your brakes, new brake fluid, or whatever it's going to take for them to get your brakes fully functioning again. Or if I'm feeling sporty and I've got an extra grand laying around, I can buy a diagnostic tool similar to what the mechanic will be using at their shop and do this myself. So this unit comes from Harbor Freight. I think it was about $1,100. I did not purchase this. I'm actually borrowing this from some friends. And basically what it is a tablet that you can connect to your OBD2 sensor. You can access different electrical components in your vehicle using this tablet and its software. I can isolate the ABS module, tell it to turn on, it'll activate the ABS and pump that air out of that ABS module, and then I can bleed the brakes, and in doing so, get all that air out of the line and get these brakes fully functional. Getting this thing hooked up is pretty straightforward. You just take the sensor, plug it into the OBD2 port, fire up the tablet, open up the software, and it actually gives you an option to automatically detect your vehicle. It'll detect the VIN number and connect directly to your vehicle's computer. Okay, so I've got this thing all connected to the truck. VIN number's all punched in, everything's good to go. So I'm ready to activate the ABS module. I'm gonna hit function test. It's asking me a couple different questions to make sure I have some things done before I do this. I'm gonna click OK. Check fluid level. Okay, I'm gonna set the parking brake. Put that to the floor. Okay, truck is in park. Okay. All right, apply and hold brake to activate the test. We've got the brake pedal down. Click OK. Okay, the brake pedal just buzzed. Release the brake pedal. Okay. Apply and hold the brake to activate the test. Brake pedal's down again. Click OK. I don't know how many times I would need to do this, so click OK, finish the test. Well, the diagnostic method is an effective method of getting the ABS module to kick on, but it can be costly. So if you're more of a budget-minded person like I am and you want to do this yourself, you don't have a buddy that has one of these tools, I do have another method of activating the ABS that's not going to cost you anything. In fact, I've done it with the vehicles I've owned, and it's never steered me wrong. However, there is some slight risk involved. Since we got a big air pocket in the ABS module, I don't have really full use of my brakes. I don't have much of a brake pedal. So what I'm gonna do is take this truck out into a nice open spot. I've got access to a big field, and I'm gonna pick up some speed and slam on the brakes and cause that ABS module to kick on and hopefully just burp that air bubble right out of itself. I've had to do this before with my Silver Resto, and my father-in-law had to do this with his Failblazer. Again, the risk I'm taking is I don't have much of a brake pedal, so when I'm doing this, I need to have a lot of room to stop. If I didn't have much room, I'm obviously risking running into something, damaging my truck, my property, or somebody else's property. So with that said, let's go sling this thing around the field. All right, so I've made it up to the field. You can see I've got a lot of loose leaves and stuff that I'm gonna use to slam on my brakes and activate the ABS system and get that air pocket out of that ABS module. So here goes nothing. Pick up a little speed. Slam on the brakes. The ABS module kicked on. All right, so there's a pile of leaves over here. I'm gonna slam on the brakes again. It's definitely activating the ABS. I'm just gonna do this over and over until I feel like I've got a good chance of having that air pocket out. So I did this before with my Silverado, and it had a pretty significant air pocket. Most of the brake line had drained completely out because of the size of the hole that was in it. So I had to do this over and over and over again. And here we go, slam on the brakes. Again, this wouldn't be something I'd want to do around other people or property. So there is a risk involved, but it is absolutely free. I don't have to take this into a shop anywhere. So what I'm gonna do now is head back to the house, get this thing on the patio, bleed all the brakes again. So when I bleed the brakes now, I should get a lot of air to come out of that line. All right, so I got the brakes completely bled, and a ton of air came out of those front brake lines. As soon as I let go of that brake line, it just went and then I finally started getting a stream, a nice long steady stream of fluid coming out after several pumps. All the while I'm making sure my brake fluid reservoir is topped off. I don't want to run that thing dry. So this trick did the trick, and I didn't have to take the thing to a shop, and I didn't have to have them connect it to their scan tool to activate and bleed my ABS system. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. If you found it helpful, go ahead and hit that like switch below. I encourage you to check out my channel. I've got over 100 videos of automotive related content, fun, vlogs, product reviews, repairs. So if it earns your subscription, I greatly appreciate it. Check out that merch link in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching. God bless. See you next time.